Okay, can we have some questions? Hands up, hands up. Anything you all want to ask? Anything you all need to find out more?
Hi, Raymond here. With increasing numbers of Chinese coming or going overseas, especially the kids, and then coming back obviously with so-called Western education, do you think there's still a niche for Singaporeans in China itself? Or are we rapidly, in that sense, becoming irrelevant? Some of my friends who have worked for many years in China, that was their conclusion. So I've only been here 2 years, so I'd like to hear what you think of that.
I think yes, you're right. China, 8 million graduates every year. You get the Chinese who are being overseas and they are very street smart. You know, they speak better English, right? Like I say, I think it's very important that Singaporeans itself, we already have an advantage because, like it or not, we are. I think our previous leaders have done a very good job to brand Singapore as very hardworking, very credible. Yeah, so I think that is very important. That brand, even if I go Hong Kong, I go anywhere in part of the world, oh, they love hiring Singaporeans. Singapore has that brand there. Yeah, I think we should keep that, and we should look forward, see the market, and see where we can value add moving forward. I think we already have the head start still. Yeah.
Oh, comments. Well, I think that it's a question that comes up very often, but I think that in terms of kind of being relevant in China, I still think it's about the combination of skills that you bring to every situation. So, for example, just speaking in English, being bilingual is not enough, but if you keep adding layers of skills, you get to the top of the pyramid that allows you to actually be very competitive. That means you are one of a handful of people who can do certain things. So in my own career, for example, I started out in TV, but then in the past few years, I learned a lot about social media. I learned about entrepreneurship. So if you look at the publishing project, it's not really any one thing that I do better than other people. It's not just about taking photos. It's the fact that I can bring it all together in one instance. I understand traditional media, but I know how to use social media to mobilize people, to engage people, and to build an audience. I can write in Chinese. I can speak in English. I can edit and distribute short form videos. So I think in terms of thinking about competitiveness, both individually and as Singaporeans, we need to really think about permutations of skills and permutations of competitive advantages rather than to think along a single dimension. In that way, we will always be relevant, I think.
I would echo what Shok says actually, but if you can look at this thing in a little bit more deeper. Most of the Chinese who has gone overseas for study, they usually go during the varsity days. Some go during the high school. But by and large, most of the consultants that I deal with before, you will find that they still retain as a Chinese culture. Maybe they master the language a bit, but to be fair, I think most of them are more not very good. They always miss the very important 15%. But they get by because they read and they study hard. This is something that the Chinese has in their blood. So on that note, you will find that what Shok said just now is important. Is your strength against them is not just bilingual. In fact, we are not very bilingual. Our original Chinese, Singaporean Chinese, when you come here is really longkang. You still need to brush it up. Even for me, I'm a debater, So 校际辩论会, I'm that kind of quality, But when I come here, still longkang. I still need to pick up and learn. Yes, I pick up Shanghainese for the 12 years in Shanghai. I quarrel them in Shanghainese. Not very chun lah. Who cares? So The Singaporean element in there is a lot about adapting, learning, dealing with it. This is what we are trained in school also. We learn to solve problems, look at the roots problem, we plan things in the head, we organize. And these are some of the values that it will take them years to get there. So for this period, I think Lee Kuan Yew has prepared us well, dear Mr. Lee. So I think we should try to leverage on that. Chinese, their methods and their culture is both a strength and also a sword to them. I think it's also hurting them. So they will not be able to be so multi-dimensional so quickly. So I think this is an area that you need to really leverage on and try to reinforce. The last, first of all,
I totally agree with them, but I just want to add one last point. I think the question that we should ask ourselves is not whether how are we going to compete with them. I think the question we ask ourselves is how hungry are we to succeed? I think that's very important. Yeah, because I think Chinese, maybe they have some things that they are not too good currently, but I think they are all very hungry to succeed. I think this is the question we must ask ourselves.
Thank you. Any questions? Who else? Oh, Mike, coming up. Make way.
Thank you. I just want to share some of my experience here. I've been here for 11 years. When we do things working together with Chinese, I'm Malaysian, all right? So what we create the value is that we always think about how we can create value for them. And then because of our nationality, where we come from, we always have some of the extra resources that they don't have. And what we do is if we try to match all this and for the good view and for the benefit and for the mutual benefit of both parties, then you stand a good chance. That's what I've been dealing with. So it's not about, other than a set of competitive competencies or skills, we also think about how we can work together with them for the benefits of, for them and for ourselves. If it is a win-win situation, you win the respect from them, and they would like to work with us also. This is my feeling. And then about Seok, I'm very impressed, and also the three speakers. I think Seok is now is Chinese government has a trend to let the foreigners to tell the story of China. We stand a very good position of doing that because we are friends to them. All right, they view us as friends. We have been here for a long time, so a lot of distorted stories about Westerners because of some of the political issues of political reasons. They have a lot of distorted stories about China. So we want to tell them the stories in China, how the different cultures is not about, like what Marcus said, it's not about right or wrong, it's about the culture. So we are in between, we stand a chance to bridge, to tell people what are the difference and bring them together. So I think this is how we can position ourselves. Right? Thank you very much.